Hi there. Although the focus of this channel is going to be primarily on awareness tips and self-defense techniques, we did have a lot of students request that we post a video on how to tie your karate belt, or in Japanese, your obi. Obi doesn't necessarily mean karate belt, but it just means belt or sash. Sometimes I like to illustrate to my students how the knot on your belt kind of represents your center point, and it helps with a lot of the techniques that we practice in judo. Of course, your center point can't be outside of your body, but this is about the level of your dantian, about 2 inches below your navel, but it's on the inside in your core. And when we're practicing judo, we use this method to help us get our center of gravity not just lower, but actually stacked under our opponent's center of gravity to conduct hip throws and shoulder throws and things like that. The samurai would use the belt, or the obi, a little bit different from the one I'm wearing because of the multiple layers that it provides. It's the double wrap, so you have an inside layer and an outside layer. A lot of times the samurai belts would have 3 layers, so they could place their swords, their katana, the wakizashi or tashi, between the different layers, and it would keep the weapons from rubbing together or banging together, and it would allow them to draw the weapons more easily. The karate belts, though, are just to show what rank we are in the system that we're training in. Our belt structure in our school is illustrated right here, and it goes from white to black belt. There's 9 belts in the system, and we kind of break it down into 3 levels. So the white, yellow, and orange is the beginner level. The green, blue, and purple we consider the intermediate level, and the brown, red, and black is considered the advanced level. One thing you'll notice about the belt is it doesn't really wrap around with just one single wrap. If you start from the back and come through, it ends up being really long and hanging down past your knees. And this is not really a great idea because when you kick, it has a tendency to pop up and sometimes hit you in the face. So the belt is designed to double wrap. So the first thing we have to do is figure out which side is the inside and which side is the outside. If you look closely at the seams on the belt, you'll notice the stitching is a little bit different on what we call the inside and the outside. The side on the left here is the inside layer of the belt. You can see the stitching is a little more continuous, and the side on the right is the outside layer of the belt. You can see it's more of a clean, even stitch. The top and bottom of the belt, you can see one end is split, it's open where it was folded, and the other side is closed all the way across. We put the closed side on top and the open side on bottom. However, when my belt was embroidered with my name, they actually did it upside down. So I have to do the opposite in this process. I usually put the open side on top and the closed side on bottom. But unless your name is embroidered, go ahead and make sure you do it the traditional way. Turn it and bring it there. If I do it this way, I end up actually with my name upside down, and that doesn't really work out too good for me. So to tie the belt, the first step we're going to do is fold it in half by bringing the 2 ends together, and we're going to find the middle point of the belt, right? Bring it all the way down to the other end, and from there I can release the other ends. I'm just going to unfold, and I'm going to place the center point of the belt right over my center point. I'm going to take one hand around the back first, and when it gets to the other side, I'm just going to take the other side and just hand it off right here. This bottom layer is going to continue to tuck underneath all the way around to the front, where the top layer is going to stay on top, and it's going to wrap all the way around from the other side. Once I get back to the front, I'm going to make sure both layers pass each other before I start tying the knot. Right? So it's double wrapped all the way around, and I'll actually be able to see 3 layers right here where that knot's going to go. The layer that's on top is going to come from the bottom. It's going to go under everything. It's going to go under both of the other 2 layers, and I'm just going to pull it through like so. And this is the point where I'm going to adjust the belt as tight as I want it, as loose as I want it, make sure my uniform is nice and straight, tuck in the gi jacket, make sure it's nice and clean. From here, I can pull tight to tighten, or if I want to loosen, I can just pull that layer out a little bit and it'll loosen both layers for me. If you end up with one end much longer than the other, you don't have to start over. All you do is just pull that other end out and then recenter, okay? And that works from either side, right? So just make your adjustments so that the tips of both ends are even, they match from here. I'm gonna take the side that we tucked under, it came from the bottom, it's gonna go over the other end, up through the loop, and from there I'm just gonna turn them and pull the knot tight, right? If you've done this correctly, you'll notice this shape in the middle. It's basically just a square knot, but there's the one side that kind of loops over and the other two come from the top and bottom and tuck into that little loop right there. So that's the proper way to tie your karate belt or obi. After class, when I take off my belt, I like to tie it in a different kind of knot. And basically all I did was fold it over twice, just to kind of shorten the length a little bit, and just tie it in a normal knot. Take the loop over and pull it through. And this just keeps it from getting tangled or, kind of keeps it more compact, and I can hang it or, store it somewhere safely where I know it's not going to be laying on the ground. The martial arts uniform, we call it gi. Basically the gi jacket, the belt's not required to hold up your pants or your gi jacket, but the gi jacket basically just works with a couple of strings on the inside. The first layer folds in, that ties just like a shoelace, and the outer layer folds over the top, and same thing on this side. You tie it just like a shoelace and take the loop around. So I can really wear the uniform without the belt, without worrying about the jacket falling open or anything like that. I hope you found that information helpful and it's something you can use in your school. It's the standard way to tie a karate belt, no matter what system you're training in. Any of the Japanese or Korean arts, a lot of them use the same style belt. It's just a square knot tied in the front, double wrapped. If you're in our school, I tell my students all the time, I don't like tying colored belts. So I'll help you out if you're a white belt. Once you're past that point though, you need to learn how to do this yourself and be able to help the other white belts as well. So I'm Josh Bishop. For more information on our school, you can visit our website at unitedmartialartsjax.com and subscribe to this channel and check out our future videos. Thanks.